you ever notice how every former GATE kid talks like they survived some CIA summer internship disguised as a 4th grade enrichment class? Because same. The stories line up a little too well. And before anyone starts, yes, I know what GATE really was. A patchwork public school program for gifted kids, birthed out of the Sputnik panic, the Marland Report, and a bunch of educational bureaucrats hyperventilating in the 1960s about American children not being smart enough. That is all documented. That part's boring. But riddle me this. If it was so normal, so innocent, so nothing to see here, why were 9-year-olds running Morse code like they were decoding Soviet transmissions? Why were children being taught logic puzzles that look suspiciously like stripped-down versions of military aptitude tests? And why, someone explain this part, were entire classrooms doing hearing tests with high-frequency tones that only they remember? Show me the curriculum manual for that. Oh wait, you can't. GATE wasn't marketed as gifted education. It was marketed like a scouting mission. Let's take the weird, perceptive, pattern-recognizing kids and put them in a room together, away from the others, and run them through exercises that look like they were stolen from a Cold War psych lab. But go off. Tell me again how this was just enrichment. Yeah, enrichment in the same way the CIA enriched soil in South America. Selectively, aggressively, and with questionable oversight. And the wildest part? All the parents were thrilled. Oh, my baby is gifted. No, Karen. Your child was learning how to break a cipher before they learned long division. That's not gifted. That's recruitment adjacent. Now, let's drag this into reality for a second. The documented truth is that gifted programs absolutely used Cold War logic models, divergent thinking curricula, and cognitive stress exercises because America was terrified of the Soviet Union, outperforming them intellectually. Schools were basically Pentagon Light for the young and precocious. But the vibes were MK Ultra Junior. No, I'm not saying little Timmy was being groomed for psychic warfare. I'm saying that when you take a bunch of hyper-intelligent children, isolate them, test them separately, and drip-feed them puzzles designed to measure abstract reasoning in borderline military formats, you create the exact psychological conditions that, years later, make them all go, hey, what the hell was that? That's the conspiracy. Not that the CIA was hiding behind the supply closet, but that the government accidentally created a generation of adults who can't tell if their childhood was gifted education or a low-budget DARPA pilot program. Let's break it down. Fact: GATE emerged directly from Cold War panic, federal research, and intelligence-adjacent academic circles. Fact: curriculum materials included code breaking, logic grids, foreign language samples, spatial reasoning tests, and high-frequency audio tasks used in cognitive research. Fact: many districts kept zero archival records of the early program formats. Fact: kids report eerily similar memories across states decades apart. Conspiracy theory: it was all a covert talent scouting system for intelligence agencies. Maybe, maybe not. But if it was, they did a garbage job following up because half the GATE kids today are on TikTok, talking about their anxiety and ADHD, not operating drones over Kandahar. Conspiracy theory, there were two. The hearing tests, the weird beeps. The sensory games, those were experiments. Real answer? Those tests did exist, but they were usually adapted from university. Psych department studying early auditory processing. Still weird though. Still not explained. Still not archived. Conspiracy theory, there were three. They were conditioning children for divided attention, code recall, and anomaly detection. Basically pre-training for intelligence work. Honestly, gifted curricula do revolve around those exact cognitive skills. Whether that's intelligence grooming or just academic overkill is up for debate. And here's the part everyone forgets. Gifted kids were selected, isolated, tracked, retested, and monitored, sometimes for years. That is documented. That is not a conspiracy. That is literally in school district paperwork. So no, I'm not saying GATE was a CIA program. I'm saying that if an intelligence agency wanted to bury a cognitive sorting pilot program inside public schooling, it would look exactly like GATE. Same structure, same secrecy, same plausible deniability, same outcomes. A whole generation of hyper-perceptive adults who feel like they were prepared for something no one ever explained. Because whether it was intentional or accidental, GATE kids didn't come out normal. They came out pattern breakers. Whistleblowers, system questioners, corruption detectors, bullshit callers. Did the government do that on purpose? Or did they accidentally create their own opposition class? Either way, the joke's on them, the gifted kids they thought they were molding. They grew up, took one look at America's political chaos, corporate lies and institutional rot, and collectively said, "Oh, hell no. I recognize this pattern. I've solved this puzzle before, and I'm not playing your game." Whatever gate was, program. Pipeline, accident, experiment, Cold War hyperventilation. It backfired spectacularly. They didn't create child geniuses. They created adults who refused to be controlled.